All right, this one's a nice one, guys. Okay, so we're really gonna be focusing the Kimura trap itself. So this can be done from, guys, 1,000 different positions, but really what I wanted to focus on with this video is how the Kimura is not only just a submission, but how you're gonna use it to get to the back, how you're gonna use it to finish the Kimura, how you're gonna use it for arm bars, how you're gonna use it for just getting a position in itself, using it to pass. So we'll talk about a few different things. We'll relate it to some other areas, but you guys will see the principles are generally the same. So Dan's gonna wind up going from a knee cut position here, okay? We all know, if you guys have been doing jiu-jitsu for a month or two, I'm sure you've seen this position already. High level guys, we're looking to pass from here all the time. And as far as Alex goes, he's got tons of guard options from here as well. So real common position, okay? Now, Dan's gonna wind up snatching up this Kimura because Alex is framing and trying to alleviate the pressure, okay? So this specific entry, Dan's gonna swim his right hand on the inside and get some wrist control, okay? Yeah. And now as he catches that wrist, he's gonna wind up sitting reverse on Alex and feeding that arm all the way through into that Kimura grip. Okay, this is, guys, this is one area, one entry to the Kimura. You could take it from multiple areas. If this doesn't suit your fancy, again, reach out to one of the instructors and we'll show you some other entries into the Kimura position, okay? But for now, Dan's actually gonna wind up finishing a traditional Kimura here to start off, and then we can look at other directions that we can go, okay? So he uses it to backstep. He squares up to his knees, pulls Alex onto his side, right, and winds up straddling Alex's head, okay? Guys, really important that you pull your opponent on their side, okay? Once you get them on their side and you can get a really strong squeeze around their upper back, you're isolating that arm, right? And this can lead into our Hydra series. View that video if you guys want to look into that. This can go right into our spider web video that we also talk about, okay? But for right now, he's just gonna finish the Kimura, okay? You guys can view those other techniques on the other videos. That Kimura grip is gonna come high up on the chest with a nice tall posture, okay? And then imagining that he's gonna take Alex's hand and slap the back of Alex's head with his hand here. And also with that rotation of his torso, okay, looking to drop his far elbow over the opposite side of his opponent's back, okay? And that twist in itself, guys, is gonna put a tremendous amount of force on your opponent's shoulder, okay? So let's hit that entry one more time. So same entry, okay? Whether we do this from side control, whether we do this from a passing position, whether we do this from butterfly, we're gonna expect some common reactions here. So let's say Dan now swims that arm inside, catches the grip, sits reverse, but he winds up falling all the way over, okay? He loses his balance a little bit, okay? Guys, this is where a lot of the Kimura trap comes into play, okay? Alex can no longer turn into Dan, right? He's actually gonna wind up turning to me and trying to turn and get on top of Dan. This is where the position really flourishes minus the actual submission in itself, okay? So you see your opponent start to turn away, right? Dan's gonna use that grip to keep his opponent in place. He winds up tucking the bottom knee underneath because as Alex rotates his hips, he creates some space between his hips and the floor, allows Dan's knee to sneak on in there, and the first thing he's gonna look for is the back take, okay? So he stops Alex from rotating by catching his hip with the back control hook. He's gonna hoop his head with the Kimura grip, switch his hips, and then throw his second hook in. And guys, if you look back at the back control video, 3 golden rules. On the underhook side, okay? Dan's here, right? He beat him with the head position even though he's on the choking side. So once Dan establishes this hook here, okay, he can then switch back to the more dominant side or wind up switching his arms there, okay? But either way, we're looking for that head position, we're looking for the underhook, and we're looking for the body lock on the opposite side. Let's hit it again, right? Let's go back a little bit. Okay, so same reaction here. He swims, he sits reverse, he catches the Kimura grip, right? He winds up falling too far over the top with the commitment to catching the Kimura, and Alex starts to turn away and try and get on top, right? So now, same thing here, guys, okay? Dan has a real strong Kimura grip. He tucks in the bottom knee, right? And he's gonna make his way into the spiderweb position by flaring that Kimura grip elbow to frame away Alex. Alex is trying to turn in and close space. Dan is using the Kimura grip to create space. And now he's got a free leg to swing over the top of Alex's head and sit right on up into the spiderweb position. You guys could check out that video as well on how to play from here, okay? So we have our Kimura entry, we have our back take entry, and now we have an entry into the armbar, okay? Last one's gonna be the triangle, right? And again, guys, I'll show you guys the same exact thing. We'll do it from another position just so you guys can get the idea of how we're really shooting this grip and this chain in multiple different spots. So he swims, he catches the wrist, he sits reverse, okay? And guys, sometimes you can like do a really full-blown commitment and do like a shoulder roll, for example, in like a B2 option, the Hail Marys, where that person posts their hand in the butterfly and you guys roll right on over into that Kimura trap. Okay, now Alex is saying, oh no, at this moment, starts to turn in. Notice he tucks the bottom knee, okay? He could catch the hook and take the back, he can catch the head and take the armbar, or he can catch the shoulder. And now, just like in the back control video, he uses the underhook arm to grab the shin, switches the hips, posts on his elbow, hips back, and lands into that triangle armbar scenario where he can finish real strong, okay? So most of this Kimura trap stuff, guys, is coming off of your opponent trying to turn into you, okay? If your opponent doesn't turn into you, finishing a regular Kimura is a piece of cake. If they do, now it's a scramble for any of these three techniques, okay? Let's hit this from another position. What was the other one we were saying? We'll hit it from 93. Yeah, let's do that, okay? So maybe not a popular guard in the beginning, but we just want to give you another example of how Dan can put this same exact strategy into effect from the bottom position. He's keeping a nice frame, right? Alex gets a little lazy with his posture, and Dan's able to reach over for the Kimura, okay? So now again, same grip, now Dan's doing it from the bottom, right? Once Dan can use this to wind up flipping Alex over with the Kimura sweep and his butterfly hook, okay? Let's not go all the way up, let's just flip him. Yeah, rewind real quick. So you're gonna wind up doing like a forward roll there, Alex, okay? Yep, that's all. Boom, right here, okay? He catches him with the sweep. The Kimura is in play. Alex tries to turn in, and here we are, right back into our three positions. Back control, okay? Armbar, or you catch the shoulder, underhook arm catches the ankle, and you wind up in the triangle, okay? So again, guys, whenever you wind up using that Kimura and you get that rolling defensive maneuver from your opponent, be ready for the scramble, be ready to stay tight on your Kimura grip. Armbar, triangle, and back takes are right there for you.